Most people do not lose control of their money in one dramatic moment. They lose control slowly through hundreds of small decisions that feel reasonable at the time. A delivery order after a long day, a subscription that only costs a few dollars, a ride because you are tired, a payment plan because the monthly number looks small, a new app that promises to organize your life, a small upgrade because the cheaper version feels annoying. None of these choices feels like a financial disaster. In fact, most of them feel like self-care. They feel like normal modern life. You work hard, you are busy, and you want things to be easier. But this is exactly why convenience is one of the most dangerous financial traps. It does not look like greed. It does not look like waste. It looks like making life smoother. And that is what makes it so powerful. Convenience gives you immediate relief, but if you are not careful, it quietly raises the cost of being you. At first, you are paying for help. Later, you are paying because the old way now feels unbearable. That is when convenience stops being a tool and becomes a dependency. The problem is not ordering food once. The problem is when cooking feels like failure. The problem is not taking a ride once. The problem is when every small inconvenience needs a paid solution. The problem is not one subscription. The problem is when your life has so many automatic charges that your income is already leaking before you make any conscious decision. Modern life is designed to remove friction, but friction is not always the enemy. Some friction protects you. Waiting before buying protects you from impulse. Cooking at home protects your cash flow. Comparing prices protects your awareness. Repairing something protects your skills. Saying no protects your future. The market wants you to believe every inconvenience is a problem that should be solved with money. But financial strength often comes from choosing which inconveniences you are willing to keep. This does not mean you should suffer for no reason. It means you should understand the difference between buying convenience from strength and buying convenience from stress. Buying convenience from strength means your savings are healthy, your debt is under control, your fixed costs are reasonable, and the purchase fits inside your plan. Buying convenience from stress means you are tired, anxious, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained, and you use spending to make the moment feel lighter while the deeper problem remains. One makes your life better. The other keeps you running in circles. A lot of people are not overspending because they are careless. They are overspending because they are exhausted. After a long workday, ordering dinner does not feel like consumption. It feels like survival. Buying something online does not feel like a financial decision. It feels like a reward. Paying for a shortcut does not feel like lifestyle inflation. It feels like protecting your sanity, and sometimes it really is worth it. But if tired spending becomes the default, your paycheck starts treating symptoms instead of solving systems. Maybe the real problem is not that you need delivery every night. Maybe the real problem is that your schedule is too chaotic. Maybe the real problem is not that you need to buy more things to feel motivated. Maybe the real problem is that your work drains every ounce of energy from you. Maybe the real problem is not that you need endless paid entertainment. Maybe the real problem is that your life has no real rest built into it. Money can reduce pressure, but money used only to numb pressure disappears quickly. Stress creates spending. Spending creates pressure. Pressure creates more stress. Then you need more paid relief. This is how people become trapped without ever making one obvious, reckless choice. They are not buying luxury cars. They are buying relief. They are buying ease. They are buying a few quiet minutes where life feels less heavy. But the market does not care why you spend. It only collects the payment. Convenience is also dangerous because it often hides inside small recurring charges. $10 does not feel serious. $15 does not feel dangerous. $20 feels manageable. But the problem is not one subscription. The problem is the stack. streaming, storage, delivery memberships, music, software, learning platforms, fitness apps, shopping memberships, upgraded phone plans, premium tools, forgotten trials, automatic renewals. Each one is small enough to ignore. Together, they become a quiet tax on your future income. Automatic payments are convenient because they remove the pain of paying, but the pain of paying has information. When you pay manually, you notice. When money leaves automatically, your lifestyle becomes invisible. Invisible spending is dangerous because it can grow without emotional resistance. You do not decide again each month. The system decides for you. That is why recurring expenses deserve more attention than one-time purchases. A one-time purchase may be a mistake once. A recurring expense becomes part of what your life costs. It says, "This is my new normal." And once your normal becomes expensive, freedom becomes more expensive too. If you want control over your money, look first at everything that repeats. Rent repeats. Car payments repeat. Insurance repeats. Subscriptions repeat. Debt payments repeat. Food habits repeat. Social habits repeat. Convenience habits repeat. The repeated expenses are the architecture of your financial life. If that architecture is heavy, motivation will not save you. A higher salary will not save you. A bonus will not save you. Because extra money will simply flow into the structure you already built. You cannot out-earn a system that automatically expands to consume your income. You have to redesign the system. Start with a better question. Do not only ask, "Can I afford this today?" Ask, "Do I want this to become part of what my life costs every month?" That question changes the purchase. It turns a small payment into a long-term decision. It forces you to see the difference between temporary relief and permanent obligation. Another powerful question is, what problem am I trying to solve with this purchase? If the purchase solves a real problem and fits your plan, maybe it is worth it. But if it only changes your mood for a few hours, be careful. A lot of spending does not solve the problem. It only changes how you feel. Mood-based spending is hard to control because moods change constantly. If you buy every time you feel stressed, bored, lonely, behind, insecure, tired, or underappreciated, your bank account becomes a record of emotional reactions. That is not a moral failure. It is human. But it is expensive. The answer is not shame. Shame usually makes the cycle worse. The answer is awareness and structure. You need rules that protect you when your emotions are loud. One useful rule is a waiting period for non-essential purchases. If you still want it after 48 hours, maybe it belongs in your life. If you forget about it, it was probably an emotional flare. Another useful rule is a monthly convenience budget. This is not about banning comfort. It is about containing it. Decide while calm how much convenience you can buy this month. If you decide while tired, the answer will usually be yes. Another useful rule is to audit recurring expenses every month. Do not ask whether each one is cheap. Ask whether each one still earns its place. Cheap things can still be wasteful if they do not matter. Another rule is to protect your first dollars. When income arrives, the first dollars should not go to impulse, convenience, or image. They should go to savings, investing, debt reduction, and essential obligations. Enjoyment should be planned, not accidental. If you save only what is left after life happens, life will usually leave nothing. This is why paying yourself first works. It makes freedom automatic before convenience has a chance to negotiate. Order matters. If you build margin first, convenience becomes safer. If you buy convenience first, margin becomes whatever remains, and often what remains is not enough. Many people resist this because they feel they deserve comfort now. And honestly, they may be right. Life is demanding, prices are high, work is exhausting, people are tired, but deserving comfort does not mean every comfort is worth the cost. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is not to buy what makes tonight easier, but to build the system that makes next month lighter. Future you is also you. Future you will live with the payments, the debt, the missing savings, the pressure, and the consequences of today's shortcuts. When you protect future you, you are not depriving present you. You are refusing to push every problem forward. That is financial maturity. It is the ability to care about the version of yourself who will exist after the excitement fades. Convenience can also quietly weaken your financial muscles. If you can no longer tolerate simple things, life becomes fragile. If you cannot cook a basic meal, wait for a purchase, use an older device, compare prices, repair something small, entertain yourself without spending, or sit with discomfort, then your lifestyle depends on money in too many places. Skills are a form of wealth. Patience is a form of wealth. Adaptability is a form of wealth. Low fixed costs are a form of wealth. The ability to enjoy inexpensive things is a form of wealth. These forms of wealth do not show up in a bank app, but they reduce how much money life requires from you. And the less money your life requires, the more power each dollar has. Financial freedom is not only about earning more, it is also about needing less in the right places. Needing less does not mean living small forever. It means choosing carefully which parts of your life deserve expansion. Spend more where it truly matters. Spend on health if it prevents bigger problems. Spend on tools that increase your earning power. Spend on help when it genuinely protects your time and energy. Spend on quality when cheap creates waste. Spend on experiences that align with your values. But do not let every category expand at once. If everything upgrades, nothing is a choice anymore. It becomes a new baseline. The healthiest financial life is not a life with no enjoyment. It is a life with intentional enjoyment and protected margin. You can have convenience, but convenience should not own you. You can have nice things, but nice things should not make you afraid of missing a paycheck. You can spend money, but spending should not erase your ability to choose. The real sign that a purchase is healthy is not whether it feels good immediately. It is whether your life still feels stable afterward. If a purchase makes you feel good today but anxious tomorrow, it may not be a reward. It may be a trade you did not fully price. Before you buy the next upgrade, ask what it will do to your baseline. Will this make my life genuinely better? Or will it simply make the old version of my life feel worse? Some purchases do not only add comfort, they create dissatisfaction with what used to be enough. Once you get used to a higher level of convenience, the lower level can feel like deprivation. This is how spending becomes sticky. Moving up is easy. Moving down feels painful. That is why protecting your baseline matters. Your baseline is the level of spending you consider normal. If your normal is expensive, your life requires a lot of income just to feel okay. If your normal is flexible, you can handle change. A flexible baseline is a hidden superpower. It lets you adapt when prices rise, income changes, emergencies happen, or new opportunities appear. A rigid, expensive baseline makes every change feel threatening. You do not want a life that only works under perfect conditions. You want a life with shock absorbers. Cash is a shock absorber. Low fixed costs are a shock absorber. Skills are a shock absorber. Patience is a shock absorber. A simple lifestyle is a shock absorber. The more shock absorbers you have, the less one bad month can control you. The goal of money is not to buy the most comfortable version of every day. The goal of money is to make your life more resilient. Comfort matters, but resilience matters more. Comfort without resilience is fragile. It feels good until something goes wrong. Resilience may feel boring, but it keeps you standing when life becomes unpredictable. That is why saving money can feel less exciting than spending it, but it changes your life more deeply. Spending gives you a visible result. Saving gives you an invisible shield. Investing gives you invisible future power. Paying down debt gives you invisible relief. Lowering fixed costs gives you invisible flexibility. The strongest financial moves are often quiet. Nobody sees them. Nobody compliments them. But they change how you breathe. They change how you make decisions. They reduce how much fear is involved in your life. If you want to stop feeling financially squeezed, do not only ask how to earn more. Ask how much of your income is being used to avoid inconvenience. Ask how much of your life now requires payment because patience, planning, or skill was replaced by a shortcut. Ask which recurring costs still matter. Ask which upgrades became normal too quickly. Ask which purchases solve real problems and which only treat emotional fatigue. This is not about becoming extreme. It is about becoming conscious. Every dollar has a direction. It either moves you toward freedom, comfort, image, relief, growth, or obligation. None of these directions is automatically wrong. But if too many dollars move toward comfort and obligation before freedom and growth, your life will feel tight no matter how much you earn. The solution is to reclaim the order. Build margin first. Make savings automatic. Keep fixed costs controlled. Use convenience selectively. Delay upgrades until they fit your foundation. Let some discomfort teach you strength. Let some money stay unspent long enough to become power. The richest feeling is not always buying whatever you want. Sometimes the richest feeling is needing less, owing less, and knowing your life will not fall apart if something changes. That kind of confidence cannot be bought with one purchase. It is built by hundreds of small decisions that most people never see. So the next time convenience calls your name, pause for a moment. Ask whether you are buying freedom or renting relief. Ask whether this makes your life lighter tomorrow or only easier tonight. Ask whether this is a tool or a trap. Convenience is not the enemy. Uncontrolled convenience is. Spending is not the enemy. Unconscious spending is. Comfort is not the enemy. A life that needs constant paid comfort to function is. You do not have to reject modern life. You just have to stop letting modern life automatically raise the price of your peace. Keep some friction. Keep some skills. Keep some margin. Keep some money unclaimed. That is how income becomes strength. That is how you stop being controlled by every bill, every urge, every upgrade, and every promise of an easier life. And that is how money becomes what it was supposed to be in the first place. Not a way to constantly escape discomfort, but a tool that gives you real choices.